Now to explain what was announced.
Well, expect to see some more people coming down here to Lower Broadway next week. The mayor says he wants to help these businesses survive, not just here, but across Davidson County, which is why limited service restaurants and bars can reopen, but they have some strict rules that they need to follow. Here's a look at what the mayor is planning. Only 25 people will be allowed inside at a time, which is the same amount of people that is permitted to be at a private gathering, according to Nashville's modified version of Phase 2. If those 25 people cannot be safely socially distanced, fewer will be allowed inside. Also, a new rule for full-service restaurants. They can stay open a little bit later until 10:30 p.m. All customers must be seated and bar counters will stay closed. The mayor says Nashville continues to move onto the right path according to the data, but we are still in serious condition.
Since the first days of COVID-19, our office has kept contact with business owners to understand the needs of local employers and staff during this time of immense financial difficulty. The economic damage from the virus has been widespread, and it has not been even. Nashville's hospitality businesses, especially our small neighborhood bars and restaurants, have been forced to confront the hard reality of operating a people-based, public-facing industry during a global pandemic.
Now, enforcement teams will be out and about in different neighborhoods just to make sure that these business owners are following these rules put in place. If they don't, they could lose their license. And also, all public health orders that are in place right now will stay in effect until at least August 31st. Reporting live on Lower Broadway, Julia Palazzo, News 2.
Well, a study about the impact of COVID-19 on diabetes will take place in Tennessee. Researchers at East Tennessee State University in Johnson City received a $100,000 grant from the American Diabetes Association to look into the potential link. The American Diabetes Association says recent clinical results have shown that people with diabetes are at higher risk of death from COVID-19.
Some good news on the unemployment front. New unemployment claims are now the lowest since the start of the pandemic in March. Last week, just over 10,000 new claims were filed. That is down more than 1,600 from the week before and significantly lower than the peak in April when more than 116,000 claims were filed. Nationally, the trend is following the exact same course. New this morning, too, customer service provider Sitel Group is expanding and plans to hire hundreds of work-from-home associates here in Nashville. These are customer service jobs and also positions for licensed insurance agents to work on an annual enrollment project. People hired will support financial services and insurance companies. Go to jobs.sitel.com to apply. Happening tonight, several colleges in Middle Tennessee will learn the fate of their fall sports season. Tennessee State University in Nashville is one of those schools. Nicole Smith had a chance to speak to the school's new athletic director and here in the studio.
Yeah, Neil, some of the schools in the Ohio Valley Conference are TSU, Austin Peay, Tennessee Tech, Belmont, and UT Martin. Tonight, OVC presidents will decide the fate of their fall sports programs. TSU athletic director Dr. Mickey Allen says if the conference has fall sports or decides to postpone it, he hopes the presidents keep safety in mind first. Dr. Allen says TSU has been taking safety precautions because of COVID-19. He says he was the only AD in the conference that elected to keep student athletes at home and postpone preseason workouts until a later date. One challenge for the HBCU was seeing how many minorities were more severely impacted by the virus.
Obviously, we have a large portion of our student athletes that are minorities. The virus has had a tremendous impact on minority groups, and so I felt and deemed it was in the best interest for our institution, our athletics department, to hold off on our student athletes returning.
Dr. Allen says they were able to start preseason workouts, and student athletes do want to put that training to the test. TSU does have protocols in place regardless of tonight's decision on fall sports.
Well, if your student is virtually learning and needs a little help, the Learning Lab is here for you. We'll tell you how your child can get tutoring tailored to their needs in just a few minutes.